Hello and welcome to another exciting Let's Play starring me, L1011 Widebody, and today we're going to be playing Road Rash on the Sega Genesis. Great motorcycle combat game, taking motorcycle racing on the open road of California and combining it with punching people in the face. So this is going to be just kind of a quick one. Bet Thrashers run 15-mile races. Our race is only about 5 miles. Kick. And I knocked him off his bike. So this is one of my other personal favorite games on the Sega Genesis. It's just a lot of fun, and it's also surprisingly a pretty good motorcycle racer just on its own. So you don't actually have to go out and commit combat on the open road if you don't want to. Very colorful graphics and nice scrolling raster background there. It's another neat thing that the Sega Genesis did pretty well. And it's a lot less irritating than the Mode 7 on the competing Super Nintendo, which was very often misused. So we're in the Sierra Nevadas in Northern California, which is the nice mountains in the background. Oh, some other racers have clubs. They will swing them at you, and you can steal them, whoops, if you time punching them right. Hopefully be able to do that at some point. So, along with Sonic 2 and NHL Hockey's various incarnations, this was pretty much where I spent most of my 90s playing. And we're already in first place because I'm awesome that way. And this game was a lot of fun, competitive too. You'd have to alternate races. It wasn't until Road Rash 2 that it actually got actual two-player combat, where you could have it was a split screen with one guy on the top and one guy on the bottom. It was a little difficult because it's the sort of game where it's pretty easy to pull away from another racer, especially in two-player mode, because you don't get the benefit of the what's the right term? The slingshot effect from the computer racers, where they'll try and they'll try and keep close to you. The AI will keep them close. Except unless you do really well like I just did. Oh, and he hit a car. Run! Run to the finish line! Oh no! This isn't what I wanted at all. Whatever. Now, as long as you finish in the top 3, you do qualify for the next race. And you get a password, because passwords are great. Let's see. I think I'll do 2 more races, and then that'll wrap this up. The Redwood Forest is pretty much the same, similar to the Sierra Nevadas. So let's do... And the Pacific Coast is a lot like the Palm Desert. So let's do the desert. You don't want to get me mad. I can be a pretty tough guy when I want to be, says Officer O'Leary. So we didn't see any of them in this last race, but there also are police. And obviously you don't want to get busted by the cops. Oh, you get punched in the face. And if you get arrested, you have to pay a fine from your winnings. And the fine goes up based on what level you are. So if you finish in the top 3 in each race, on the come on, yay! Now I'm dropping the hammer. Take that, Judge Dredd. As long as you finish in the top 3 on each race... Or is it top 4? I think it's top 3. You'll qualify for the next level, and when the level goes up, the competition gets harder. And the races are longer. There's Officer O'Rourke. Not using his siren for some reason. Oh, ran right into the back of him. Oh, take that, I say to the Rex. Jump. There's a lot of neat things to jump, too. Oh, watch out! Let's see, what else? Haha! Pow! They make such a cool sound when you knock them off their bike. Kind of reminds me of the sound that they make in NHL when you throw a big check at somebody. They go, don't run into cars. Don't run into trees. They'll ruin your day. The bike power meter. I didn't think I'd get to mention that in the last race. Oh, that must have hurt. Blew his face off and knocked him right into a car. So when you run into stuff, you take your bike takes damage, and if your bike reaches 0, then it explodes. Actually, I don't think it explodes in this one. But you do lose, and you have to fix your bike, also from your winnings. So that's really the only way to lose, is to run out of money and not have enough money to pay fines. You can also use your winnings to buy new and faster bikes, which will help you compete on the upper levels. So it's not a good idea to go right out and spend all your money on a new bike when you have it, because you should keep some in reserve for fines and things and running into cars. So this was the first game of the Road Rash series, which included Road Rash 2 and 3. Whee! On the Genesis. I won that one. So in Road Rash 2 and 3, you get $1,000 for winning a race. This one you only get $750. Let me see. Where is? Oh, here's the bikes. So you can take a look at the other bikes. Ferrucci 850. They have different horsepowers and weights, and the weight helps it handle a little better, or it makes it more stable, I should say. And obviously horsepower makes it go faster. There's only so many bikes in this one. There's more bikes in the newer games, and Road Rash 2, like I said, adds let's go to Grass Valley. You better not be one of those wild biker types. I'm out to get me a rasher. Don't tell your friends that, they might not understand. Road Rash 2 takes the action across the country. As you can see, you don't get to keep your weapons in this one. I don't know, I guess he drops it at the end of the race or something. So I'll be doing Road Rash 2 eventually, because that was also a pretty fun game. And Road Rash 2 adds Nitro, which if you double tap the accelerator button, which is B by default, then you get a boost of Nitro and the bike goes faster and squirrely. You only get so many during a race. So it's usually a good idea to wait until you really need them. Don't use them all up at the beginning. And then Road Rash 3 takes the action around the world and adds the ability to keep weapons, and it adds bike upgrades and such and such. But I think it removes 2-player mode, if I'm not mistaken. And then there was the next generation of Road Rash, which made it, was still sprite-based, but it had 3D landscapes, and it made it a more realistic environment. I think I already played that one. That was on PC and 3DO and I believe PlayStation. And that's it. I have the PC version. I thought it was really cool. It runs on Windows 95, so it's a little tricky to get it to run now. And that also included music from actual licensed bands like Soundgarden and Monster Magnet. So that was pretty cool. That's a good game. Let's see, not really much else to say about this game. So the races on the early levels are 5 miles, and they go up by 2.5 to 3 miles in length. Oh, that didn't work right. I was trying to veer over and knock her into the car, and mistimed it and paid the price. So now I am down to Bic, and then I finish in 5th place, and that means I don't qualify. Which means I am a big loser, and with that, I'm going to call this a video. So that's Road Rash. It's definitely one of the classic games on the Genesis, and the start of a pretty fun series. So if you got a Genesis, it's definitely one to pick up, as well as its other games, 2 and 3. So with that, I will see you around.